Hello.
Hey,
Hello, Maya. Maya, have you ever used the sound share?
sorry, I'm not quite catching you clearly there. Could you repeat what you were saying about using the phone to share something?
In what solution do people usually say share?
People usually say share when talking about letting others use something, giving something to someone, or talking about personal experiences or feelings. It's pretty common in all sorts of situations, honestly. What made you curious about the word share specifically?
How does this sound make people react?
The word share has a curious effect on people. It taps into our fundamental need for connection. When someone shares, it feels like they're lowering their guard, trusting you with something important. That can create intimacy and make people feel closer to each other. It also triggers empathy. We naturally compare their experiences to our own, which builds understanding. What's got you thinking about how words affect people?
Where do you think the sound share come from?
You're asking about where the word share comes from, right? It has surprisingly old roots. Share comes from Old English's saran, which basically meant to divide or allot. Before that, it goes way back to Proto Germanic and even further to Proto Indo European. The original meaning was about literally cutting or dividing something up amongst a group. Over time, it evolved to mean sharing experiences or feelings too. It's wild how that basic idea of dividing something turned into this whole concept of connection we were just talking about.
In share a word or just a sound?
Mm, I'm getting the sense you're curious about whether the word share itself is rooted in a sound, like onomatopoeia, where words imitate sounds. The way I understand it, share doesn't actually come from mimicking a sound. Its origins seem to be all about that early concept of physically dividing something up. Like, you're right. When someone says share, there's that sort of opening, a giving over of something that can feel resonant in a way. Is that what you were thinking about when you asked about a sound?
Where do humans use sound instead of full word to ask for silence?
Sorry, that got a little mixed up. Can you try rephrasing that question about sound and names? I think I lost track there. Are you asking about how humans use sound instead of like speaking fully or something else entirely? Hmm. I'm not sure I caught that right. Something about brand up. Could you try saying that again?
Uh, has share always meant the sometimes some things throughout history? Uh,
Okay, that sounds
uh,
like you're talking about what sharing means, like how it's always been part of human history and how we think about connection through it. It's really interesting how that practice goes back so far, right? Like we talked about earlier with how the word itself comes from ancient ideas about dividing things fairly.
where does share work so effectivity?
And that's a good question. Sharing works best when there's trust and clear expectations, when people feel safe enough to be vulnerable and open with each other. That's when real connection happens. In work and collaborative settings, sharing ideas openly, even when they're imperfect, is key to creativity. When you have a space where people aren't afraid to share openly and honestly, that's where effective activity really blossoms, you know?
How does the human brain respond to quick comments?
The women's brain is a pretty sophisticated system. A quick comment, it really depends on the comment itself. But generally, women tend to process communication in more emotionally nuanced ways than men, activating more areas involved in social processing, especially the limbic system. So, a quick comment might trigger an immediate emotional response or social evaluation. What did that mean? Was that positive, negative, or neutral? They're more sensitive to tone of voice, body language, all these subtle cues that influence meaning. What kind of comment are you thinking about?
In a universal arouse culture and languages.
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding that phrase. Could you try rephrasing it? I think something got lost in the transcription.
Can tune change the meaning of share?
Got it. You're asking what kind of thing could change the meaning of share? Well, context is everything. If you're sharing a piece of cake, it's pretty concrete. You're literally dividing up something physical. But if you're sharing feelings or ideas, it's much more abstract. A quick comment could completely change the feeling behind a share, like turning something vulnerable into something casual or even hurtful, depending on how it's said.
When can it be? When can it be considered rude of size offensive?
Hey, I'm hearing some
Mm.
uncertainty in that transcription. Could you clarify that for me? I caught something about when something can be considered rude and something about you being nice or saying something. Is that close?
How do parents and teacher use
Okay, I'm here.
share differently?
It's a really thoughtful question. Parents and teachers share so differently. Parents share authority when they can teach real world lessons, values, social skills, everyday tasks. Teachers share knowledge through information they teach, but also share skills and approaches. Parents share emotional resources, safe space, unconditional support. Teachers share strategies and tools so students can be more independent learners. It's a different balance. Parents are more about nurturing, teachers more about preparing for specific goals like education or work. Do you have specific types of sharing you were thinking about?
Are they respectful attentive to the sound?
It sounds like you're asking if people react with respect to certain sounds. That's a fascinating idea. Different people respond to sounds in completely different ways. For some, certain frequencies can be incredibly soothing or healing, while others are annoying or even frightening. Cultural background plays a huge role. What might be respectful silence in one culture could feel awkward in another. What sound are you thinking of specifically?
What does share symbolize beyond silence?
Okay, I think you're asking about what share means beyond just the basic definition. Like, what's the deeper significance of sharing? For me, it's about vulnerability and trust. When you share something real, a thought, a feeling, a story, you're putting yourself out there. That can be scary, but it's also what creates real connections between people. It's a bit like magic, isn't it?
Okay. Good job.
That's all you got for now?
Bye.
Thanks. Take care.